Turning now to some developing stories. Right now, Minneapolis city leaders are following up on the decision to reject a workers' comp settlement for former MPD officer Andrew Battelle. Battelle was one of the MPD officers involved in the beating of Jaleel Stallings, who later received a $1.2 million settlement of his own from the city. The council was expected to approve Battelle's $145,000 settlement. Instead, they voted to send it back to legal staff for review. Now, if the full council votes to reject it again, there is a possibility that both sides might return to litigation. Well, today we are seeing some movement in negotiations as tens of thousands of healthcare workers remain on strike across the country. NBC's Tom Costello shows us what's changing between the union and Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah, good day. So Kaiser and the union have been in negotiations for months, but they still haven't come to an agreement on a key sticking point, and that appears to be pay. And the union's contract expired on Saturday, and that is why the union walked off the job. 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers off the job. We think that this is the biggest healthcare strike ever, and this is the biggest not-for-profit healthcare chain in the country. The hospitals remain open, the ERs remain open, doctors and RNs remain on the job, but among the people who have walked off the job include pharmacists, lab technicians, optometrists, x-ray technicians, some vocational nurses, and some of the people who help keep the ER and the OR clean. The company says they have made progress on key points, but right now it is all about how much of a pay hike the union actually gets. And the union says inflation has taken a huge bite out of their daily paycheck, and that is affecting their lives right at the very moment that most of them say they're burned out because of the stress levels post-pandemic. I'm Tom Costello in Washington. Back to you.
Ford is laying off another 400 people, this time in Detroit. The company says it's a consequence of a strike at a Chicago assembly plant. Those workers will now be put on strike pay. The total number of layoffs just within Ford are now up to more than 1,300. Minnesota Congressman Tom Emmer is throwing his hat in the ring for House Majority Leader. It comes after the House voted Kevin McCarthy out as Speaker of the House earlier this week. Emmer was floated as a potential candidate for Speaker, but said yesterday he will instead go for the second-ranking position. Well, this week's cool down is just a reminder and a sign that hockey season is here. Eva.
And just in time for hockey season, we are at the Taste of the Wild. From rectangle pizza to Tennessee hot chicken mac and cheese, we have all the great new foods that are going to be for the next Wild season up in the club level. That's next.
We should have switched assignments today. Plus your chance to vote on what will happen in the location of the old Minneapolis Kmart. How you can make your choice when we come back.